Hey there, trainers. PokeDad back at you to get you prepped for a very important Gigantamax Pokemon in Pokemon GO. We'll go over event details, top counters, prep tips, and battle strategy, and I'll cover why Gigantamax Lapras will really be worth having on your team for upcoming events. So Gigantamax Lapras will have its second max battle day on Saturday, July 19th from 2 to 5 p.m. local time. You may be asking, why is Lapras having another max battle day when it already had one a few months ago in December, and there are still so many Gigantamax Pokemon left to be released? And I'm going to do my best to answer that question, but first we need to take it down and catch it, so let's go over that. Luckily, we have event bonuses to help us out, starting with remote raid limit increased to 20 from Friday the 18th at 5 p.m. to Saturday the 19th, 8 p.m. Pacific time. We will also have a max particle collection limit increased to 1,600, a quarter adventuring distance to receive walking particles, 2 times max particles from exploring, power spots are going to refresh more frequently, so about every 30 minutes or so, 8 times max particles from power spots, and 2 special trades. And this is because Gigantamax Pokemon always count as a special trade. There's also going to be a free timed research leading up to the event that starts on Monday, July 14th at 6 a.m. local time, running until Saturday, July 19th, 5 p.m., so when that event ends. When we've had this for previous G-Max battle lead-ups, it normally requires completing 3 max battles, leveling up a max move 3 times, and some other tasks, but luckily it does reward you with a Dynamax Pissimian encounter, along with roughly 1,400 max particles for some tasks, which I highly recommend trying to save until the day of the battle to complete another battle or 2 for free. There's also going to be a $5 ticket that we'll cover at the end. So let's go over the Lapras battle and then get into the top counters. So Lapras is going to be a 6-star max battle boss. It's going to cost you 800 max particles to battle and can be done remotely with a remote pass and 800 max particles. It can be battled to the maximum of 40 trainers split into teams of 4, which you can see what team you're on in the lobby, and when you're in battle, you should see your team number up at the top towards the max meter. Also, you can check the trainers on other teams by pressing on your team number in the lobby. And this is great if you've remote invited a friend and you're curious if they're able to join or not. You can click that and see if their name appears in that list. So like most Gigantamax battles, you're going to want your team of 4 with the following roles: 2 people attacking, 1 person healing, and 1 person shielding or guarding. So determine your role ahead of time based on the Pokemon that you are bringing to this battle, and make sure you're talking to your team during the max phase. That way you don't have 3 people healing at the same time. When you have 3 Dynamax Blissies in there and they're all healing, you're not doing much, so make sure you're talking to your team. Remember, during the regular battle phase, you're going to want to use only your fast moves and not your charge moves so that you're filling up that max meter as quickly as possible. And this is best done using fast moves that have a half-second attack time. And remember, Dynamax Pokemon have their max attack determined by the type of their fast attack, while Gigantamax Pokemon have a set move that cannot be changed. So Dynamax versus Gigantamax Pokemon of the same Pokemon type may have different needs for fast attacks depending on if they're Dynamax or Gigantamax. Also be aware that Lapras is shiny available and has a hundo CP of 1509 when you're catching it. Now let's talk counters. So Lapras is a water and ice type Pokemon, so it is weak to fighting, rock, grass, and electric types. During the battle, it'll be able to use 2 charged moves out of its move pool. One is a large attack that is unavoidable, and one that is a targeted attack, which you can dodge when you see those 3 lines above your Pokemon's head when its Spider Sense activates, or Peter Tingle for you Spider-Man Far From Home fans. The charge move it knows can be Skull Bash, Hydro Pump, Surf, Sparkling Aria, and Blizzard, which are water type attacks, along with Blizzard being ice type and Skull Bash being normal type. So with that in mind, let's go over the top counters. Top attackers are going to be Gigantamax Rillaboom with Scratch, Gigantamax Toxtricity with Spark, Gigantamax Venusaur with Vine Whip, Gigantamax Machamp with Karate Chop, Crown Zacian with Metal Claw, and Dynamax Urshifu Single Strike with Counter. Max attack at level 3 would be optimal to deal the most damage on these Pokemon. Now your best defenders are going to be Gigantamax or Dynamax Blastoise with Water Gun or Bite, Crown Zamazenta with Metal Claw, Crown Zacian with Metal Claw, Dynamax Blissey with Pound, Gigantamax Lapras itself with Water Gun if you got it last time, and Gigantamax or Dynamax Kingler with Mud Shot or Metal Claw if you don't want to use an Elite Fast TM. These Pokemon have a higher defense stat and stamina stat, so they're best used with a level 3 max guard. Now your best healers are going to be Dynamax Blissey with Pound, Gigantamax Lapras with Psywave, Gigantamax Snorlax with Lick, Dynamax Wailord making it on there with Water Gun, Gigantamax or Dynamax Rillaboom with Scratch, and Dynamax Single Strike Urshifu with Sucker Punch. These Pokemon typically have a higher HP stat, which is what Max Spirit is based off of, is the HP stat. So you want to see level 3 Max Spirit on these Pokemon. Also remember that even if your Pokemon faint, that cheering does really help boost the max meter for your team and can sometimes come in clutch, so don't give up. Make sure you're tapping that cheer meter. Now, with the top counters leveled up with maxed attacks, I would say you're going to need roughly 10 to 11 trainers. This is going to be doable, but if people are bringing level 20 Pokemon with level 1 max attacks and things, I would say 16 to 18 or more trainers is going to be necessary. Lapras is a little bit tanky. If your community is not big enough to take this down, consider becoming a member of the channel and opt to battle with the PokeFam, and we can get you some remote raid invites if you need those as well. Now, my team suggestion, what I'm personally going to be trying to go with, is a Gigantamax Rillaboom just to deal a ton of damage, Crown Zacian because I don't want to use Blissey, I want to change it up and actually use a Crown Zacian, and Gigantamax Toxtricity. If you don't have Gigantamax Pokemon, then switch Rillaboom for his Dynamax counterpart and Toxtricity for Zapdos or Blissey, of course. Rillaboom will hit the hardest, so try to save him for your max attack phase and switch to your other Pokemon during the regular phase to charge that max meter as quickly as possible. Now let's discuss one of the most important parts of this, which is to get the most free battles you can out of the day. If you have plenty of money because you've been selling Jason Page autographed Pokemon cards to everyone everywhere, then you don't need to worry about this. But if you're like me and you're broke and you want to only do your free ones, then listen up. So there are many strategies out there on how to maximize your max particle collection, involving you waking up at midnight and collecting between midnight and 5 a.m., all this stuff. I'm going to go over the easiest one. Let's keep it as simple as possible, which is the bottom line is you want to end with at least 1,600 max particles on Friday or more if possible, and then check into a community ambassador hosted meetup and complete 2 max battles. Then collect your 1,600 max particles for the day on Saturday and complete 2 more battles. Claim those 800 max particles from the campfire rewards from the community ambassador hosted meetup, and then complete another battle. If you still have max particles in your Go Pass for the month, collect those along with the potential 1,400 from the lead up research, and you could easily hit 2 more battles, if not more. So this is landing you with 7 Gigantamax battles for free without having to work too much and to stress about this event ahead of time and all the prep work. 7 battles is a really good number. Now, some of you may want to do more and you want to purchase the $5 ticket that is available, which will give you 1 max mushroom, 25,000 XP, 2 times XP from max battles, and increases your collection limit to 5,600 max particles instead of 1,600 max particles. And this means you can complete 7 max battles with the collected max particles on the day. But make sure there's enough trainers in your area willing to do this many battles, because with the other free bonuses, you're looking at around doing 12 to 13 battles instead of the 7 for free. So if you're going to spend that money, make sure there's others in your area willing to do the same. And lastly, make sure you are getting as much easy candy for this Pokemon as possible by Mega Evolving your highest level Water or Ice type Mega Pokemon. This would include Primal Kyogre, Blastoise, Swampert, Gyarados, and Slowbro, as well as Abomasnow or Glalie. Now, let's quickly go over why you're going to want a Gigantamax Lapras on your team, other than the fact that you've always dreamed of riding it across the ocean like you've seen Ash do in the anime. But when we have a max battle weekend coming up, which is most likely going to feature Dynamax Latios and Latios, which are Psychic and Dragon type Pokemon. And Pokemon GO has announced the max finale event at the end of August, and this most likely is going to feature Eternatus, whether in its regular form or Eternamax form. And now, these have not been confirmed, but you can be sure that these will be coming to the game at some point, and they most likely will be at these times, but don't, it's not confirmed, so don't count on me. But all of them are Dragon type, making them weak to Ice type. Now, there's going to be better attacking options and things like that, but it's definitely going to be worth getting Gigantamax Lapras, as it is the only Gigantamax Ice type attacker, and it's also going to be a great tank and healer as well. So it'll give your roster a nice budget round out for these upcoming battles that are going to be a little bit tougher. So I really would capitalize on your max battles this day to get a good one and get as much candy as you possibly can to power one up. But no matter what you're able to do, make sure you're getting out there and enjoy this game by yourself or with your Poke fam and friends. I'll catch you next time.